Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel Learning Point. This is Palak Jain and today we are going to understand about Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952. So what we are going to learn in today's video, we'll learn what is EPF, schemes offered under EPFO, applicability and non-applicability of the Act, contribution in various schemes, some important definitions, what is central board, withdrawal from the EPF fund and advances from the EPF fund. So what is EPF? Employee Provident Fund. It is a retirement savings scheme. It ensures financial security by both employer and employee contributions. This scheme extends to whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. और इस स्कीम में एम्प्लॉय और एम्प्लॉयर दोनों कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं अ पोर्शन ऑफ एम्प्लॉय सैलरी. कोई भी एम्प्लॉय अपना ईपीएफ अकाउंट ट्रांसफर कर सकता है व्हेन दे स्विच देयर जॉब बाय यूजिंग यूनिवर्सल अकाउंट नंबर. द ईपीएफ वेज सीलिंग is rupees 15,000. So what is wage ceiling? Wage ceiling is upper limit of salary or wages on which contributions are calculated for certain social security schemes. Maximum limit of salary is 15,000 for contribution of EPF. Employees earning more than rupees 15,000 can still be the members of the EPF, but their contribution will be limited to rupees 15,000. किसी भी employee की salary 15,000 से ज़्यादा है, still he can contribute to EPF, but उसका contribution limited रहेगा till rupees 15,000. So what are the schemes offered under EPFO? Employees Provident Fund Scheme 1952. That is also known as EPF. Employees Pension Scheme 1995. It is also known as EPS. Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme 1976 and it is also known as EDLI. Now we'll understand how much employee and employer contribute in EPF. So employee contributes 12% in EPF. An employer also contributes 12% and that is divided into EPF and EPS. So in EPF, employer contributes 3.67% and in EPS scheme, employer contributes 8.33%. And the total of 3.67% and 8.33% is 12%. 0.5% he contributes in EDLI scheme and 0.5% he contributes in EPF administration charges. EPF scheme, both employer and employee contributes a portion of employee salary. Employee contributes 12% of their basic wages, dearness allowance and retaining allowance. But in some cases 10% rate is applicable. So 10% rate is applicable where any establishment in which less than 20 employees are employed. किसी भी establishment में जहाँ 20 से कम employees work कर रहे हैं वहाँ पर. Any sick industrial company, वहाँ पर भी 10% rate applicable होता है. Any establishment which has at the end of any financial year accumulated losses equal to or exceeding its entire net worth. कोई भी ऐसा establishment जिसके फाइनेंशियल ईयर के एंड में एक्यूमुलेटेड लॉसेस हैं, दे आर इक्वल टू और दे आर एक्सीडिंग इट्स एंटायर नेटवर्थ, वहां पर भी 10% रेट एप्लीकेबल होता है पीएफ पर. एनी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट इन द फॉलोइंग इंडस्ट्रीज and they are jute, बीड़ी, brick, coir and guar gum factories. Now we'll understand applicability of the act. Section 1 of this Act deals with the application of the Act. So EPF Act is applicable to every factory which is specified in Schedule 1. Every establishment which is factory or industry in which 20 or more persons are employed. So EPF Act is applicable there. Any establishment notified by central government by giving not less than 2 months notice. किसी भी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट पर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ईपीएफ एक्ट अप्लाई कर सकती है गिविंग नॉट लेस देन 2 months notice. Even the employer can make an application to Central Provident Fund Commissioner as to application of the act. अगर employer और employee किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की फील करते हैं हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में EPF एक्ट अप्लाई होना चाहिए, then they can make an application to Central Provident Fund Commissioner for the application of the act. The establishment to which the act applies shall continue to be governed by the act even if the number falls below 20. So किसी भी establishment में अगर act apply होता है then it is always governed by the EPF Act even if the number of employees falls below 20. So EPF Act is once applicable, so it is always applicable on any organization. The establishment must be engaged in an industry specified in Schedule 1. So EPF Act ऐसी industries या factories या establishment पर applicable होता है which are mentioned in Schedule 1. Now we'll understand non-applicability of the Act. EPF Act कहाँ apply नहीं हो सकता है. Any establishment registered under the Cooperative Society Act 1912, any state-related cooperative society employed less than 50 people and working without the aid of power. कोई भी cooperative society which is registered under 1912 और जिसमें 50 से कम लोग काम कर रहे हैं विदाउट द एड ऑफ पावर, सो वहां पर ईपीएफ एक्ट अप्लाई नहीं होगा. एस्टैब्लिशमेंट बिलोंगिंग टू सेंट्रल और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट और set up under the state and central act where employees are covered under any scheme framed by them. कोई भी establishment जो belong करता है सेंट्रल या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को या वो सेटअप हुआ है स्टेट या सेंट्रल एक्ट के तहत, सो सच एम्प्लॉयज आर कवर्ड अंडर एनी स्कीम फ्रेम्ड बाय देम, तो वहां पर ईपीएफ एक्ट अप्लाई नहीं होगा. Now we'll understand few definitions. So what is appropriate government? When is central government appropriate government? In relation to an establishment belonging to or under the control of central government. So any establishment which is belonging to or under the control of central government or in relation to an establishment connected with a railway company, a major port, a mine or an oil field or control industry or in relation to an establishment having departments or branches in more than one state, the central government is the appropriate government. कोई भी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट जो बिलोंग करता है सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को और विच इज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, वहां पर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट है. कोई भी एस्टैब्लिशमेंट विच इज कनेक्टेड टू रेलवे कंपनी, पोर्ट, माइन, ऑयल फील्ड, वहां पर भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ही एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट होती है. और कोई भी ऐसी इंडस्ट्रीज जिसकी ब्रांचेस एक या एक से ज्यादा स्टेट में है, वहां पर भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ही एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट होती है. अब स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट कब होती है? इन रिलेशन टू एनी अदर एस्टैब्लिशमेंट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट इज द एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट. जहां पे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट नहीं है वहां पर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ही एप्रोप्रिएट गवर्नमेंट होती है. नाउ व्हाट इज बेसिक वेजेस? It means all emoluments which are earned by an employee while on duty or on leave or on holidays with wages but does not includes. So all the emoluments which are earned by employee when he is on duty or on leave or on holiday with wages, but it does not include the cash value of any food concession, any dearness allowance, house rent allowance, overtime allowance, bonus, commission, or any other similar allowance payable to the employee in respect of his employment or of work done in such employment. Any presents made by the employer. Who is employer? In relation to an establishment which is a factory, the owner or occupier of the factory. So owner या occupier of the factory भी employer हो सकता है. Agent of such owner or occupier वो भी employer हो सकता है. The legal representative of deceased owner or occupier, and where a person has been named as a manager of the factory. ये सारे employers हो सकते हैं. In relation to any other establishment, the person who has the ultimate control over the affairs of the establishment वो भी employer हो सकता है. And where the said affairs are entrusted to a manager, managing director, or managing agent. Now, who is employee? Employee means any person who is employed for wages in any kind of work and who gets his wages directly or indirectly from the employer. Employed by or through a contractor or in connection with the work of establishment, and engaged as an apprentice, not being an apprentice, engaged under the Apprentice Act. Employees working as an apprentice in any organization, but they are not covered under Apprentice Act are also known as employee. Who is authorized officer? Authorized officer means Central Provident Fund Commissioner, Additional Central Provident Fund Commissioner, Deputy Provident Fund Commissioner, Regional Provident Fund Commissioner, or such other officer as may be authorized by the central government by notification in the official gazette. The central board may by a gazette notification constitute board of trustees called central board for administering the employees' provident fund in the territories to which the act extends. Central government constitutes board of trustees called central board for administering employees' provident fund areas to which the act extends. The central board shall come into force from such date as may be specified in the notification and shall consist of the following person as members. Now we'll understand central board's composition. So central board consists of chairman and vice chairman appointed by central government. Central Provident Fund Commissioner who is ex officio, and there are members appointed by central government, and in which there are 5 central government representatives, 15 state government representatives, 10 employees representatives, and 10 employers representatives, and these members are appointed by central government. There is also an executive committee to assist central board and board of trustees to perform the assigned duties. Now we'll understand about Employees Pension Scheme EPS. The central government may by notification in the official gazette frame a scheme to be called Employees Pension Scheme for the purpose of providing. So central government has framed a scheme which is known as EPS, Employees Pension Scheme. It is framed for the purpose of providing superannuation pension, retiring pension, permanent disablement pension to the employees of any establishment or class of establishment to which the Act applies, widow or widower pension, children pension or orphan pension payable to the beneficiaries to such employees. It also provides widow pension, children pension, orphan pension to the beneficiary of such employees, and retirement pension under the new scheme will be payable on fulfilling minimum 10 years of eligible service and on attaining the age of 58 years. Retirement pension under the new scheme is payable on fulfilling at least 10 years of eligible service and on attaining the age of 58 years. Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme. the central government may by notification in the official gazette framed a scheme to be called the Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme for the purpose of providing life insurance benefit to the employees of any establishment or class of establishment to which the Act applies. This scheme gives relief to the family members in case of sudden death. So central government has framed a scheme which is known as Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme for providing life insurance benefit to the employees. And this scheme gives relief to the family members in case of sudden death. Salient features of Employees Deposit Linked Insurance Scheme. The coverage amount under the EDLI scheme can be up to the maximum of rupees 7 lakh and minimum coverage amount is rupees 2,50,000. So maximum coverage amount under the EDLI scheme is 7 lakh and minimum coverage amount is rupees 2,50,000. Minimum contribution by employer at the rate of 0.5% of employees' monthly wages up to the wage ceiling of rupees 15,000. So employer contributes 0.5% in EDLI scheme and the wage ceiling is rupees 15,000. जिस भी एम्प्लॉय को 15,000 या उससे कम सैलरी मिल रही होगी वो EDLI स्कीम के अंडर कवर होंगे. नो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन पेड बाय एम्प्लॉय. सो EDLI में एम्प्लॉय कोई भी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं देता है. ऑटो एनरोलमेंट ऑफ PF मेंबर्स इन EDLI स्कीम. सो जो PF मेंबर्स होते हैं दे आर ऑटोमेटिकली एनरोल्ड इन EDLI स्कीम. बेनिफिट्स डायरेक्टली क्रेडिटेड टू बैंक अकाउंट ऑफ नॉमिनी और लीगल हियर. विड्रॉल फ्रॉम द EPF फंड. सो हम EPF फंड कब कब विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं? परचेस ऑफ अ ड्वेलिंग house, flat, or for the construction of a dwelling house, including the acquisition of a suitable site for this purpose. Purchase of house, we can withdraw EPF. For repayment of loans in special cases, withdrawal within 1 year before the retirement, and such withdrawals are not required to be repaid. जो amount हम withdraw करते हैं, we need not to repay it. We can also take advances from the fund. So advances from the fund are paid for the following purposes: for illness in certain cases, marriages or post matriculation education of children, or higher education of children. Also we can take advance from the fund in normal conditions such as floods, earthquakes or riots, and this amount is non-refundable. Paid to members affected by cut in the supply of electricity, and grant of advance to members who are physically handicapped. For such purposes, employee can take advances from the fund.